It's not just for Indigenous people, it's for allies, it's for everybody. I even say, hey, even the racists come. They laugh louder, then we can pick them out the crowd.
Janelle Niles created Gotland Comedy in 2019, seeing a need for a group where Indigenous comedians can come together.
I'm going to just help out the little guy because I remember being in that position, having no guidance, not knowing even how to tell a joke, write a joke, even stand up there, hold a mic, and making sure that they're with their own people because as much as we're comedians, we're Indigenous comedians, so some of our jokes don't translate well. So it's nice for Indigenous comedians to start out with Indigenous audiences, to have their community backing them.
Despite being around for only a few short years, most of them through the pandemic, Gotland will be at the Just for Laughs Festival in Toronto at the end of September.
So it's a really big milestone for us because Gotland, from just starting at little open mics to finally getting into the club scene of last year to now getting into the big stage of Just for Laughs, it's just showing us that we're snowballing in a great direction. So for me, it's a dream come true. And I know it's going to be a dream come true for the other comedians up here because we've worked our butts off during the pandemic, even though we don't have a butt. We definitely worked really, really hard.
One of the comedians that's part of the show is Dakota Ray Hebert, a Dene comedian and actor from Saskatchewan. Ray Hebert says Gotland is an important resource for Indigenous comedians to be mentored by other Indigenous comedians.
It's really intimidating when you want to do stand-up and you feel like you're the only woman in stand-up, or the only Indigenous person, or the only Indigenous woman, or etc. So having this company help showcase Indigenous artists and comedians, I think is really important, just to help people, I guess, just give that little bit of courage to try to do it.
She described her set, like many other Indigenous comics, as one based on hardships faced by Indigenous people.
And I think that's a style that a lot of Indigenous comedians have, if not all, where there's, we make light of all the atrocious things that have happened. And so there's always a seed of education in our sets as well. And I think, yeah, it kind of spans across the board.
Niles says while doing festivals like Just for Laughs is a huge milestone, the main focus of Gotland is making sure those in Indigenous communities can get a first-hand experience right in their community.
Our main goal is to tour Turtle Island, so that is always our first and foremost goal. So hopefully we'll have a bus and we'll be hitting every reserve and territory and nation that we can across Turtle Island, and we'll hopefully have it in an annual recurring thing, and then by the time we're all the way done, then we start over again. So we'll have a comedy troupe touring Turtle Island, and maybe one day we'll get a Netflix special or a Crave special or something so the rest of the world can also see Indigenous comedy, because there is a lot of stuff we have to say over here that the rest of the world's not hearing.
Gotland will have 2 shows at Just for Laughs Toronto on September 30th. Daryl Stranger, APTN National News, Winnipeg.